So I'm about to play a clip of a guy. Actually, it's a girl who dumped a guy because he was being so frugal on a date, and y'all might hear the vacuum in the background. I got my kids cleaning up, but listen. If a guy is not willing to spend $3 to impress you on a first date, that says something. That says something. That says a lot more than, oh, I'm not willing to spend $3. You're on a first date with someone who doesn't know you. Like, people spend money on things to impress people. If he's not willing to try to go out of his way to impress you by spending the $3, there's some other things going on. He's not really that into you. Um, and the other thing I want to bring forward is, even though people are telling us it's our fault that, we're getting the short end of the stick in these relationships, or that men are treating us in some kind of way. It's like, oh, because you allowed it, or because you need to choose better. Even though they're saying that, when you have standards, they're mad at those standards. They're mad when you have standards. And the standards you have block those kind of guys from actually being in your life. They want you to lower those standards so those guys can be in your life, so you can get screwed over, so you can wind up being cheated on, left a single mom, abandoned, or what have you, right? Because there are signs that this is going to happen, and this is one of them, that the guy is just not that into you. Which, if he's not willing to spend $3 on a first date to impress you, what else is he not willing to do? That's what we need to think about. And do you have to be... That's another thing. When we talk about these standards, no one shames men for not wanting to be with the quote-unquote ugly girl, not wanting to be with the quote-unquote fat girl, right? Nobody shames them for that. It's like, well, that's what he wants. Nobody shames them for not wanting to be with the dark-skinned girl. That's his preference. But women can't have preferences. So I'm assuming women can't have preferences and women can't have standards. That's what these things are telling me.
Guys, I just got back from a Hinge date. Why am I doing this to myself? So we scheduled to go to dinner. We are sitting at the restaurant. Seems very nice. Not a catfish. Things are going well. And the waitress comes over. She wants to take her order. And I said, okay, I'm going to take the branzino. And he said, I'm going to take the burger. And the waitress asked him, okay, how do you like your burger? He said how he likes his burger. And do you want some cheese on your burger? And he asked, is this going to be extra? And she says, yes, it's $3 extra. And he said, okay, then never mind. I'm like, what the actual I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat my branzino and see what happens. And he's like, oh my God, you have to pay extra for everything these days. And I'm like, yeah, it's New York City. So I got my branzino. He got his burger. We were eating. And once I was satisfied, I got up and I was like, I'm going to the restroom for a second. And I took my purse and I went to the waitress and I was like, hey, I just want to pay the bill. And I just paid the bill and walked out of the restaurant, and I texted him. So I texted him, the check is taken care of, you should have gotten the cheese. And I blocked him.
Oh my. And here's the thing. Even though people are telling women we need to up our standards, we need to, it's our fault that men are using us, that men are, abandoning you, cheating on you, leaving you single moms, abusing you in all kind of ways, verbally, mentally, financially, whatever, physically. They're also angry when you have standards. So I gather women are not supposed to have standards, and we're also not supposed to have preferences. You're supposed to just take whatever comes at you. Like, whatever comes at you, that's what you take. And whatever's the fallout, it's still your fault. Because when women have preferences, when they say, well, I want a guy that's this tall, I want a guy that's, that has this much money, this much education, we're shamed for that. If we say, well, I need a guy who meets this standard, that standard, this standard. We're shamed for that too. We're shamed for having standards, and we're shamed for having a preference, right?